Morning, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start a little segment here on my channel. Most of you guys know I've been reading various newspaper articles about World War II vets being found and finally being brought home. I got another one I'm going to read. It's a little bit lengthy, but I think I'm going to start doing these, and I am not going to involve any modeling. It will strictly be about the gentleman found, and that will be it. If it lasts 10 minutes, it lasts 10 minutes. If it lasts 3 minutes, it lasts 3 minutes. So this is a little bit lengthy article. I'm going to start it. I'm going to read it to you. It resonates a little bit more with me because some of his relatives were from my hometown of Canton, Massachusetts. And they didn't know him. They had no idea until they were contacted. So I will read this verbatim. World War II veteran is laid to rest. Private was killed in battle in 1943. Born. This is Bourne, Massachusetts. There's a huge military cemetery down there. I have a couple of aunts and uncles buried down there. If you were in the military, served in the military, you can be buried there. So this is, I will read it to you. 7 Marines lifted their rifles skyward Friday, each firing 3 volleys in honor of Private First Class John McDonald, a World War II veteran from Allston, which is Massachusetts, whose body has reached its final, improbable resting place at the Massachusetts National Cemetery. The American flag that draped his casket was meticulously folded into a taut triangle and presented to his cousin, Sharon Kelly of Canton, who had not known about McDonald until recently. Neither had any of McDonald's 9 other relatives here, all of whom sat silent and wrapped on metal folding chairs on the edge of a small clearing in the Cape Cod Pines. McDonald was a casualty of the hellish fighting at Tarawa in 1943, and his bones had remained on that Pacific atoll until 3 years ago when a non-profit organization called History Flight found a forgotten battlefield graveyard hidden under a 2-story commercial building. But it was not until February that the Defense Department connected with McDonald's living relatives, 18 months after forensic investigators in Hawaii had used dental records and a chest x-ray to identify the remains. McDonald's immediate family is long gone, and the memories of him went with them. Now that has changed. I'm just so touched that they found him, said Kelly, who had clutched the flag to her body. I didn't know him, but I wish I had. No one apparently knows much about McDonald, but a few facts have emerged of his short life, which ended at 19. On a tiny bullet-raked island in the Central Pacific. He was born in Somerville and moved to Austin, where his father was an insurance agent. He lied about his age to enlist in the Marines at 16. He died on the first day of fighting on Tarawa, one of more than 1,000 Marines to be killed in only 76 hours there. McDonald was assigned to Company E, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division, and he died in a desolate place he had probably never heard of until shortly before he waded ashore through hundreds of yards of waist-deep water. The Japanese cut down Marines in waves, and more than 4,500 of the enemy fought nearly to the last man before the Americans emerged victorious. His sacrifice prompted Jim Dubé, to travel to Cape Cod from Anchorage, Alaska with his 4 children, aged 9 to 18. Dubé is Kelly's son-in-law, and he was the first of the family to receive a call from the government about the remains. The Defense Department had already contacted another family incorrectly in search of MacDonald's relatives, but public genealogical information eventually led the government to Dubé, even though he was unaware of his wife's connection to the fallen Marine. "We've found someone you might be related to," Dubé was told. 4 months later, that search led to a short, emotional service attended by Francisco Urena, the State Secretary of Veteran Services, and 24 members of the Patriot Guard Riders, a group of veterans who provide a motorcycle honor guard at military funerals. This is a rare honor to present the flag to the next of kin, especially for a World War II veteran who is returning home, Marine Major Theodore Smith said as he waited for the hearse to arrive. Later, he knelt to present the folded flag to Kelly, who passed it to her son, Jim Pistole of Holbrook, who had never heard of the battle until the family was notified of MacDonald's discovery. But Marine Sergeant Austin Miller and Lance Corporal Jonathan Endisk know of the fight, one that had been embedded in Marine Corps law. Miller and Endisk, who helped carry the casket from the hearse, are members of the same unit, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, in which MacDonald served. "This is amazing," said Miller, who was based with Endisk at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. "It's extremely humbling." The discovery has buoyed the staff of History's Fight, which has long been searching for missing Americans killed on Tarawa. "We're taught by the military that we don't leave anyone behind," said Katie Rasdorf, a historian and researcher for History Fight who served in the Marines. Governor Charlie Baker ordered all flags on state government property lowered to half-staff Friday to mark MacDonald's homecoming. Urena said he is gratified that one more Massachusetts family has been reconnected with a fallen veteran whose remains has long been unidentified or missing. Since World War II, nearly 2,300 from the state are still awaiting a final accounting. And that's just in Massachusetts. As a Marine, this is very personal. You served 8 years in the Marine Corps. The burial speaks to the reason why the Powell Meyer flag still flies at many government buildings and elsewhere, he added. "When people see that flag," Urena said, "I hope they think of John MacDonald." Welcome home, John.